let's talk just some essential items for little ones. If you're new here, my name is Katie. Welcome. I talk a lot about pregnancy, postpartum, and mom life in general. So please make sure that you subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos I post. If you are coming back for another video, welcome. I love having you here as part of the community. When I started making this list, it's actually a lot of items that were on our registry or ones that we just used for well over a year. Also, look how cute this mug is. It's Mama Bear and a little baby bear. My last name is Bearline, so we love a bear moment. But sorry, I needed some coffee. When I started making this list, I wanted to make it a top 5. And I was thinking about items. I started writing things down and quickly went over 5. And then I was like, okay, fine, I'll make it a top 10. And I didn't like the way that the list was coming out. It felt like some of the items didn't really match the criteria of what I was going for. I don't know why I had to be a 5 or a 10 just to kind of make it like neat and tidy, but I ended up with 8. So this is our top 8 items that I would recommend for all parents to have for their little ones. And the first one that immediately was added to this list is the Haka pouches. So think of like the veggie or applesauce fruit pouches that you can get at the store. Now, Haka has a product where it is a completely like silicone reusable pouch. So it has like a little pouch section, a straw, and like the little mouth sucker piece, and you can take them all apart and clean all of them. We literally use them every day, and we probably started using them when our first was about 6 months, and we would actually make breast milk smoothies, and now we do like applesauce or fruit and veggie blends in them. But it's crazy, we've literally used them for a year and a half now. Now, the second one, Chris and I both laughed when we added this one, is the diaper genie, because before we had Carson, I was convinced that like that was an unnecessary expense or add to our registry. I was like, why can't we just have like a trash can? Like, I don't understand. And their diapers don't really smell that bad, I guess I could say, when they're newborns. I mean, they really don't smell at all. But the older they get, oh my goodness, especially when they start eating real food, the diaper genie is a lifesaver. I'm sure there's other brands out there, but some kind of diaper pail. We chose the diaper genie because they have like a baking soda pouch insert that you can put at the top, and you can like bulk buy the refill bags. Now, I don't know if our last box that we got, there was something wrong, but it felt like almost every time we were changing it, that the bag was split on the side, and we weren't overfilling it. We were changing it almost every day or every other day, but it would like completely rip because it was snagged on like a little piece of the plastic at the top. But we've only had one box do that. So number 3. Now we have a stool that also converts into a slide. It is a wood stool that the front face is actually also a chalkboard that's magnetic, but we put it up to the counter when our little one cooks with us, which we did baby-led weaning. We've done all of like the toddler cooking toys. So he helps us prepare dinner, his own snacks. And of course, he's not doing them by himself, like we're right there. But also we'll put it up against the kitchen table for him to do crafts or Play-Doh, or sometimes he just likes to stand and play. And we use the magnetic board all the time for different letters and different toys that we have that have magnet capabilities for sorting colors and shapes. But the best thing about it, I mean, it's already dual purpose being a stool and then like the chalkboard magnet piece, is that the whole front comes off, and when you turn it around, you can push it in on the bottom and it becomes a slide. And that he has absolutely loved. Even before he could walk, he would crawl around on it, and he would try to crawl up by himself, and sometimes we just had to help him. But we've used that for so long, and we will continue to use it because of its stool capabilities that we can use for him to help us cook. And then I can already see it now that the two little guys kind of more wrestling on it as they get older, but it's also nice size that even him at 2, it is not too small. So number 4, we call them pillow blocks. So I'm sure you've seen these online, but there are different shape blocks. Like there's squares and like almost like stick French fry looking ones, cylinders, triangle pieces, half circles that you can build just about anything. We leave them out in the corner of our living room. Like we have like a nice little pattern we've come up with that fits in the corner. But he gets them out and we play with them multiple times a day, and we're building tents and forts and boats and picnic tables, and sometimes we're just building piles to jump on or jump across like stepping stones almost. And those have been out since his first Christmas. So when he was 11 months old, and he's now 2. And I mean, today we've already got them out twice and put them back. So I know that those are going to be continue to be something, especially because he gets to use his own imagination and creativity. And when he gets them out, we end up calling him project manager because he'll start telling us like where to put things and should we add a blanket and are we going to read in there. And it's just, they're so fun and they're so versatile. And I know there's different ways you can build like couches and things too. We haven't gotten into that, but I'm sure as he gets older, the builds and things will become more in depth. Okay, so number 5. So they're called squid socks. Now, this is not one single item that we have used from kind of like birth until now, but we have used the brand consistently. So essentially, they have like the little like rubber plastic dots, essentially the same as like what's on like a strapless bra or like the inside of like a swimsuit top, and it's on like the top of the ankle piece of the sock, so to help the sock not fall off. On occasion you'll see like the little dots imprinted in their skin, but it's never like that red purple that you get like if your socks are too tight and you're like skiing or anything. But they're the only socks that stayed on our first when he was a newborn. We're using them again with this little guy. We have them in every size from 0 to 24 months. And the 12 to 24 months ones, they are, I mean, all of them are pricey, but the 12 to 24 months ones literally just started wearing out, and our son is 2 years and 2 months. So I don't know if they have them past that size. I actually literally just said to my mom today that I needed to look to see if I can order them, but they have grips on the bottom as well. So when they're walking and running around the house, they're not sliding. And all of his regular socks now we refer to as slippy socks because he'll take off running, and if he doesn't have his slippers on, or like his feet go out from under and he ends up falling. So we end up wearing squid socks or slippers. But the squid socks, absolutely love them. I'd never heard of them prior to having kids and love them. Number 6 is a giant play yard. So think of it like it's, I would say, about a 7 foot by 5 foot activity center. Now, our living room is quite long, and so we have it kind of next to our couch, and it has a basketball hoop in it that's like built into it. It has like little pull up handles on it, and there's a bunch of balls that came with it, and it has like almost like a squishy floor. They sell them on Amazon. Now, when we got it, I ended up actually getting it through MacBid. I'm not sure if MacBid is in all of the locations of the people that might be watching this video. If it is, absolutely, I'd look it up. It's essentially like a resale for Amazon returns and things. But I saw it on there and I was like, this is perfect. Not only is it essentially a ball pit for him to play in, but it's somewhere that I could set him because I work remotely, or like before anybody gets here, that I could set him down to shower or to use the restroom or to just have a human minute and know that everything that was in there was safe for him. But I will say 9 times out of 10, Chris and I, or whoever's watching them, is in there with him. It's fun. We throw balls in there. We ended up actually putting one of his golf clubs in there, and we were essentially teaching him how to pitch. Pitching wedge. I was to say, sorry if that people don't golf. That one has been a lifesaver. It has been up since he was about 7 months old. He still asks to go in there and play, probably because that's where we keep all of like his ball toys. And I know that we'll be using it for our second. And I told Chris, I said, unfortunately, I think this thing's just going to be in our house for 4 years because we now have the new one that we'll probably use until he's 2 or later. Number 7 is his high chair. So the high chair that we picked and put on our registry is not just a high chair. So it actually comes apart and turns into what they called an art table and chair. Now it's essentially a toddler-sized table and a toddler-sized chair that clamps together. I love a dual purpose moment. I love something that is reusable, multiple use, anything like that. And this one is also like just aesthetically pleasing. Like it's black and wood, so it matches our house. And of course, he's now in a booster seat at the table, but it gives him another little table and chair that's in the dining room that he can put blocks on or do crafts, or if he decides he doesn't want to eat at the booster chair and the regular table for lunch or snack, I'm fine with him eating at the low table. Like that's totally up to him. But we have used it since he was able to sit up, and we started giving him his first foods until now. Granted, they're not the same use, but it's still being used. So I feel like if we're gonna spend money on something or put something on a registry that is a little bit more expensive, but you're gonna be using it for 2 years or more, then to me, that's worth the value. So number 8, this is the last one on my list today, is the Dr. Brown sippy cups that have the handles on both sides and then they have a straw with a weight on the bottom. This is the first cup that we taught him how to use a straw with. I definitely think the Haka pouches that I mentioned helped him learn how to use a straw, but we still use those sippy cups today. They're just kind of in our rotation at this point. He does no longer need a weighted sippy cup, but if he's tired at night or he's sick or anything, it is just easier for him, and he's still only 2. We use them now, oh gosh, almost 2 years, and they still look really good. Like the paint on the side for like, I don't know if it's paint, whatever they use to put like the Dr. Browns and like the ounces for the size is still on there. It hasn't worn off from washing or anything. They're still in really good shape. They didn't like, we've dropped them a million times and like they're not like bit up or anything. Like the plastic is really held up. So just really appreciate those ones as well. Now that is my list. If you have any kind of absolute must-have items, like think of something that you touch every day that kind of makes your life easier, or if you were, you know, going to be spending the day out of the house and you were like, oh, it would be so nice if I had XYZ, please comment on it below. I'm sure there are some parents out there that would love to hear what works for other parents. There's no gatekeeping here. Please go ahead and do that, but also make sure that you like and subscribe because I'd love to have you here as part of the community. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.